I can't accept it either, Jalen Rose. I can't accept it either. How does a team with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and the rest of that core just say, you know what? Let's rebuild. We don't need Michael Jordan on our basketball team.
MJ is that GOAT, but I once saw this on Above the Rim. He can stop some traffic with them yellow eyes. With that being said, they knew going into that final season that that was going to be the finality. And if you're a player like Scottie Pippen, as far as you're concerned, the organization was on borrowed time, basically most of your career with the team. They were unhappy about Tony Kukoc. Scottie never truly got his value. He had the time where he got surgery on company time. He didn't go in the game. Kukoc made the game winner. He was getting on Jerry Krause time after time after time again. So there was not going to be a seventh run for this team the year after. If they were going to win the championship 7 times in a row or 8 times in a row, it would have been the years he went to go play baseball, David Jacoby.
I think that is a good point. I think a lot of people forget the context of this. There was actually a shortened lockout season that next year that took a lot of attention away from the fact that this Bulls team would no longer be. But it's just so hard if you're Krause, if you're Reinsdorf, it's so hard for me to get inside their heads and understand why you wouldn't want Michael Jordan on your basketball team. Like, I understand it. I watched all 10 episodes of this documentary twice, but I just don't understand how you can sit in an office and call yourself a general manager of a basketball team, an owner of a basketball team, and say, you know what, we're better off without Michael Jordan. How does that happen?
It ain't hard to tell. It was a power structure, Jacoby. They started to win so much that the organization was able to take it for granted. So Reinsdorf was like, I know Phil has accomplished some great things. I know Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. I know Scottie's underpaid. But you know what? This is my team. And there was a level of ego that went along with that in that building. Trust me, as somebody that played there afterwards, that almost spilled to be a little bit of jealousy based on the popularity of those guys. So the organization, while Jerry Krause became the face of it, was looking toward ushering those guys away, to the point Phil went to the Lakers and won 5 more championships as a head coach.
And it is a shame to think in that last season, while Michael Jordan was making over $30 million, Scottie Pippen was making less than 3. I mean, if you look at this, like it just seems wrong. It does seem a little tricky to make this work if you have to re-sign all these players, but still, like the idea that at the bottom there is Scottie Pippen at number 6 making $2.8 million. It just seems so unfair and unjust. I understand why he went and got paid by the Houston Rockets. And Jalen,
well, Scott Burrell made that since The Last Dance came out. And of course, MJ want to run it back. He getting 54% of the salary cap.
Yeah, I know. There is something poetic about him making that last shot during The Last Dance. So it all worked out well. And Jalen, there was another revelation from last night's episode. And this one was absolutely shocking. Let's listen to the director of The Last Dance talk to me and Jalen on the after show. It will blow your mind.
Shows up. Michael says, everybody, do not touch this pizza. This is mine. You didn't wait for me. Don't touch this. So he spits on the pizza.
What?
This is not the only time. You can look up that Michael would spit on food if he didn't want people to eat it. That is why I think it is true that Michael ate an entire pizza himself. Was that pizza spiked? I don't believe that. I do believe that nobody else ate that pizza.
So, Jalen, this is known as the flu game, but it was not a flu game. It was a food poisoning game because a pizza that he had delivered to his hotel room, he spit on so no one else would eat it, and he says that gave him food poisoning. Jalen, do you think adult beverages were involved? That's always been a rumor. Do you think this was a spiked pizza?
Beverages were involved, David Jacoby, and I love doing those pods with Jason because he's giving us exclusive jewels. And let me give you a combination of something. Professional athlete, after 11 p.m., you've had adult beverages, and now you have a little munchies happen. You want to order some pizza. 5 people bring the pizza. The other people in the room with you ate earlier. So to be spiteful, you spit on the pizza so they won't have any. Get back. It's mine. All mine. And then you go and eat that pizza and you mix it with those adult beverages. That never goes well after midnight. You know that, Jacoby. He was able to do that in the early 90s. You can't be doing that in 98, dog. It's way different.
I just love the idea of Michael Jordan sitting in like a couch in a hotel room with a pizza on the coffee table, opening up the big pizza box, looking at his friends and just spitting on every single slice, just being like, no, you guys are not touching this pizza.
Like
Jalen Rose.
Effects. Yes, sir.
You were a part of episode 9, a big part of it because your Pacers pushed these Bulls to a very, very tight game 7. And it really did feel like the relief after they won. It did feel like that your team, this Pacers team, pushed them further than any other team did aside from the Bad Boys during this entire championship run. What did it feel like to be in that building and to play this team in that series?
Well, watching it back is pride, it's agony, it's pain, disappointment. And anytime you watch yourself do something that's imperfect, you always tell yourself what you could have done better in order to change the outcome. At least that's what you hope people do, especially in the team dynamic, because it's one thing for everybody, and rightfully so, to be able to celebrate the all-time GOAT in Michael Jordan. Imagine being the people that's trying to go against what everybody loves. That's something in itself to create a level of enthusiasm within the squad. Like, we're about to upset them and shut everybody up. We know everybody rocking his shoes. We know he the GOAT. We know he won 5 championships. So to watch back at it, it reminds me of Tony Kukoc gave us that work, man. I think he had at least 20. He was a stretch 4, 6'11", gave us problems. There was a jump ball with Rick Smits, and I think it was Scottie Pippen that led to Kerr hitting the 3. So plays like that and just Ron Harper's defense, those are things that go under the radar to help them win that game in that series.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.